break free.
It's bizarre on the beat.
Hi there, and welcome to another exciting Know It All, Tell It All edition of the Springboard Hangout. The Springboard Hangout, as you know, is your fun-educated program where we have fun and learn about issues that concern our lives. My name is Comfort Okran. Today we are in a workshop that turns this lovely leather material, so soft, so delicate, into a shoe that you would love to wear over and over again. Marvin is in the shoemaking business here in Accra, Asotu. He handcrafts this from beginning, from this particular place, through molding it to finally selling it online for those who are discerning enough to buy it. I want us to go into Marvin's shop and find out all about him, how he got into this business and where he hopes to take this business in the next 10 years. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back because this is a TVET story that needs to be told and needs to be celebrated. We will be right back.
Get me York's rent a car. I need a car in 15 minutes. Hi, I'm Jake Morris, and I travel globally. But when I'm in Ghana, York's Rent a Car is my reliable choice for safety and comfort on the road. York's Rent a Car provides comprehensive logistics services to mainly blue chip companies as well as individual clients.
At the time, we needed a car rental service, and York's fitted in very well per our standards.
Their services is top-notch. Drivers are on time.
It was beautiful to see them behind the wheels. And anytime they pick up a guest, the guests were very, very happy.
Already? Excellent. York's Rent a Car provides services and expertise that include meet and greet services at the airport, car rental, driver personal outsourcing, and vehicle detailing. What's the problem? Izio, I told you, York's Rent a Car delivers world-class service to its customers, having their highest safety and comfort in mind. So watch you. Go over to open for him. York's Rent a Car runs 24/7 operations where customers can make car reservations and inquiries of our services online and also call our hotline.
He's always turning around.
Welcome back, and joining us here at Ted Handmade. Our workshop is in Soweto in Accra, and we are privileged to talk to Marvin Daute. He went to tech. Tell me about your story. Marvin.
Okay, so after the second cycle school, I actually did visual art.
Okay.
And I'm the type of person who always wants to do something with my hands. So I went to tech and studied rural art, which they teach you leather work, woodwork, metals, and I think textiles and poetry. So your first year you do all that, and as you move along you keep dropping the courses. So finally I completed with metal work, and I specified in jewelry making. But after national service, which I did with MTN, actually I had love for shoes. You know, growing up I used to collect sneakers, you know, wear them. So I always wanted to be a businessman.
Okay. Okay.
Even when as young as I was, anytime somebody asks, when you grow up, what would you be? I'm like, I want to be a businessman. And it's also because I feel that will give me the space to bring out whatever I have in mind and express myself well. You know, so right after national service, I told my dad, I want to do business, but I want to sell shoes. He was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So he says, okay, then I'll bless you with 1,000 cedis to start. So
That's generous of Daddy.
That's where I got my first capital from. So I went to a shoe factory which was close to Tech. It's called Mensa Shoe Factory. And I ordered for the first 10 pairs of shoes. And it was very nice, but I realized that it took them a long time to manufacture the shoes. So I'm like, okay, I'm sitting down, I'm done with
Place your order.
and I'm just waiting. So I'm like, okay, I have an idea about leather work, you know, so why don't I go and learn? So I approached them, I'm like, I want to learn, I want to be an apprentice. And I'm saying, oh, why not? So they allowed me to join free. They didn't charge me a penny. But whilst I was learning, I was selling as well. Because, you know, after school, you can't rely on your parents. You have to fend for yourself.
Please, can you repeat that?
After school, you can't rely on your parents.
So
you have to
those of
fend for
you
yourself.
Who are home, you finish school and you're still relying on your parents, it's a no-no. It's time for you to go out and venture and get something doing quickly, because they spend so much on you and you are now still at home eating their food. Please go out now. Please continue.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yes, so I invested the first 1,000 cedis and things were going well. But after some time, because I had not run, you know, a business before, whilst in school, I was running business. I was doing earrings, chains, and selling to people. That was like more like hand to mouth.
Okay.
Just to always have some income, you know, in my pocket. But when I came, I realized that running a business is different from just selling something and, you know, trying to feed yourself. So after some time, I realized that I'd, you know, spent all the 1,000 cedis and I didn't have any money.
So let me find out. So what did you realize running a business consists of that you need to watch out for from that early experience?
Yes. So I think, one, the pricing was something that, you know, I didn't know how to price well.
Okay.
So I want to sell the product. So the margins I was putting on it was just minimum, just because you want the product to move. So after some time, you realize that because you don't have any money coming from somewhere, you are relying on that same 1,000 cedis for your food and for your business. So I'd run out.
Would you call it advisable for a young business person to be able to separate the money that he pays himself?
Best.
So you say it because
That's the best. To be able to separate or to put yourself on payroll from the get-go. Even if it's 100 cedis, you say this is my payroll. So that after you spend 100 cedis, you know you can't touch what's left.
this is what they call ABC of business.
Yes.
Put yourself on payroll the minute you start business. Don't think that the money is yours. The money is not yours. The money is for the company. And the company is a different entity.
Self.
Yes, yeah, it's a different entity completely. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
So
yeah.
then I went back to my dad that, okay, this time I don't want you to give me free money, I want loan. And he said like, okay, no problem. I'll give you another 1,000 cedis, but this time I'll take it back. Even though he never took it back.
Oh.
So I started working with that and I started learning how to be disciplined with money.
Okay.
At a point, I had to even buy food on credit. And then later I'll pay back. Because I know this time I can't mess up. Because if I mess up, there's nowhere to go. So I started gradually and I started making some profit. And actually when I was going to learn the shoemaking, I only went with a scissors and a hammer.
Okay.
But I'd wanted to change the way they do their production and, you know, so that they can make more money. But I realized they were not in tune with what, you know, I was trying to teach them. So I'm like, okay, if I'm trying to teach somebody and the person is not learning, why don't I do it on my own?
Right.
So I started buying the molds, this one.
Okay.
So
How much is this?
so that time it was around 40 cedis, but this one right now is around 150 cedis for a pair.
One.
Yeah, a pair.
Wow. And where
Yes.
do you get it? Here in Ghana or outside?
Yeah, we get it here, but they are mostly imported. They are
Okay.
people bring them and we buy. So you know, when I get some small money, I'll buy a mold, I'll buy a sewing machine, and all that. Then later, I went into bag making because I felt shoemaking and bag making is close. So I employed somebody who was making the bags. Then I was selling to people. But at a point, he also stopped coming.
Oh,
I'm like,
why?
oh.
Your first employee.
Yes.
You lost your first employee.
Yes, he stopped coming because what he was doing was when we get a contract, you come and take the money, work for some days,
And then
disappears. I'm like, I can't continue because I can't be lying to my customers. And if I lie to them, I'll lose them at the end of the day.
That's a very important business truth. The fact that you need to be a person of integrity when you are doing business. In fact, any parts of the world that you are in, you need to be someone of integrity
Yes.
so people can rely on your word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay. Like how I did with the shoes, I know I can do this. So I started, when I get internet, I go to YouTube, how to make bags. And I started learning. And I'm like, okay, I can't be running both.
Okay.
So then I employed somebody to be working on the shoes whilst I start developing the bag sector. So I was doing that and I was still learning how to make the shoes in the same process. Because I'm like, I have to survive. There's
So you were
no going back.
learning how
Yes.
to make shoes. You were producing shoes,
Yes.
and you were learning how to produce bags. And you had your first worker who was helping you.
Yes.
This story is very, very interesting.
There's no going back.
Okay.
Because I've told myself this is what I want to do. So I was juggling all the three at the same time. And gradually it started growing. Then I'm like, okay, I need people. So I started employing people who already know how to do shoes and people who already know how to do bags. But at a point I realized after they've worked with me for some time, they'll just move and probably go and set up their own space without telling me or giving me prior notice. I'm like, wow, this journey it's not as easy as I had in mind, you know. So one time I sacked everybody.
Okay.
I'm like, let me start this thing all over again. I'm like, okay, let me pick another strategy. Now I'll employ people who doesn't know how to do it, train them, and work with them. I did that for some time, and it also started backfiring, you know. They know how to do their job and they try and set up on their own. You still need people.
You still need people. So how did you crack the people code?
The people code, I'm still learning how to crack it. But, I realized that after you do that, you start meeting people who are, loyalty is the word.
Yes.
So I feel that time I'd not met people who are loyal to what I'm doing or to my dream.
Yeah.
So I continued and I started finding out, getting loyal people to join us.
Fantastic.
Yes, and we grew and I met a young lady who invested 40,000 cedis. Like,
Wow.
yeah, that's about 7 years ago in the business. So with all the big ideas I had, we expanded. We bought machines, we rented a big place, you know. I had this thing of, you know, letting people I work with feel comfortable. So it was really...
It's a very good, don't lose it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we really invested. After 1 year, we had spent all the money. I didn't have money for rent. So we had to move out.
Another failure.
Yes, another failure. Yes. And this time it really hit me hard because I felt like now I'm on track.
Yeah.
Then after 1 year, you lose everything. So quickly, I remembered my dad has a space in Somaya
Okay.
with a garage.
Okay.
Then I spoke with him. He said, okay, you can come. And I moved there. But the challenge was, you know, with Somaya, if I produce, I have to bring it to Accra and sell. So after 8 months, it wasn't really working. Fortunately for me, I have a friend. He's the owner of A1 Bread.
Thank God for friends.
Yes, and he told me about this space. Because once we were in school, we used to come here and all that. Then I took up the space, and when I was coming, I had just a few machines, because some of the machines we had to sell them off and all that. So it was like a new beginning for me, But the good thing was that I had a skill. I think that's what has really saved my business. I had the skill to produce shoes.
You had the skill to produce shoes, and you had the dream and the passion to ensure that you make it work.
Yeah, it's mostly the passion. Because sometimes I quit when I'm going back home. And I wake up, I'm like, let me go and try this.
One more time.
And see how things will go.
It reminds me of the Isaac story where he wanted to dig the wells of his father again, and when he digs the well, then somebody will come and take the well from him. And this is, just like how the equipment has come in. You just think that we are on the roll, then all of a sudden you see the snap.
Yes.
And it happened about 2 or 3 times, and each time he would go and dig yet another well. Yet another well. I'm glad that you kept on digging yet another well. And this is also you are getting the water, but I can promise you, and this is a prophecy, that you will dig one more time, and when you dig that well, you'll be surprised at what is going on.
So when I came here, I came with 4 people from Somaya.
Okay.
Then we started again. After some time, 3 of them quit, because they were older and they feel like what we are doing will take a long time. And I really understood them. So there was this younger person who stayed with me, and we started growing. I'm like, okay, I'll still use the same method I was using in Kumasi. Pick people who doesn't know how to do it and train them. Then after some time, I think 2 of the guys I trained in Kumasi, they came to join me, and we've been doing this for some time now, and we've been growing.
How do people get to know about you?
So the internet. So initially, I was like, let me not go into the straight to customer business. I'll do it for people who are already selling, and they'll sell. But COVID happened.
Oh, the almighty COVID-19.
So when COVID came, most of my customers' businesses went down. The shop was, I had to let everybody go because we didn't have business. Then I was like, okay, why don't I? Actually, we had one customer. She's a lady. We make slippers for her.
Okay.
She was selling during COVID. I'm like, I used to ask her, the people, where do they go? But they are still buying your slippers. Then I'm like, okay, then let me also start a brand. So that's how come TED came. Then I did Instagram ads, and it started moving. I'm like, these people, where are they going that they are buying shoes? Because
they are using it around the house.
Then it started going, and trust me, my first order, I was so excited. I was. Then it grew from 1, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 5. I'm like, what's happening? Then I'm like, okay, let me push this more. And I started doing like $5 a day for 30 days. Started growing the business, and it became. But I think the strategy I used that helped was because I could sell directly from here. I started selling shoes for 100 cedis.
Okay.
And people loved the price because that time, the money wasn't in there. So it really went far. It really, really went far. And that's been the story for TED.
That's a beautiful story, a story of ups and downs and persistence and persevering despite the odds, because it means that TED, I guess, means that we don't stop.
No.
It doesn't matter what obstacles hit us, we would always go back and re-strategize and come back to the table. That's beautiful. So, Marvin, I see someone who has set himself a target of selling shoes, even though, at least in my estimation, at that time, there was really no vibrant market
Yes.
for producing shoes and selling it. And you've managed to find a niche, you've managed to find a way of connecting to your clients. Give and take on an average month, about how many shoes do you move?
So on average is between 150 pairs to 200.
Here,
Yes.
do you do both male and female, or is just male only? Because I can see this beautiful shoe that I'm really eyeing because it's lovely.
So for the third brand, we do male shoes. But we also work for other people.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do female shoes for other people. But we are beginning to, the plan is to start female and kids shoes. So that's in the process.
But so you're telling me that I've come here to interview you, you will not look for, I cannot buy a shoe from you? Come on. Marvin, I mean, you and I, we are...
So fortunately for you,
Uh-huh.
this is a sample of female shoes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. We've started.
Yeah.
Okay. This one you'd have to make it very nice like this one, because I think you still have a little bit
We're still working on the sample.
But the sole is soft.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes, that's the thing about shoes.
Yeah.
That's the feedback we get.
Yeah, the sole is soft. The sole is soft.
I wear the shoes myself, so you know they have to be very soft.
Comfortable for you to wear.
I,
I see. So the brands that you work for, are they happy with what they get?
yes, so far. We've been working with some of them for the past 6 years.
6 years
Yes.
since you moved here.
Yes. We've been working with
Wow. That's great to hear. And you know, this is where we talk about how applicable or how useful TVET is, because here's someone who actually learned about, leather production, but didn't really pursue it to a final level. But because he could apply what he had learned when he went to learn the way to produce it, now he's found himself a space. He's now employing 8 people,
Yes.
I believe.
At a point, I was employing about 16 people. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, I think like 2 years ago.
2 years before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID, we had about 16 people, working here. But things are different now, so.
But things would improve.
Yes,
Things would improve.
Yeah, we are hoping so.
Things would improve. We pray things would improve. Right. So Ted, we'll now go and find out how do we move from here to getting through this part, and then finally to getting such a lovely shoe to go with our boo-boos. Guys, I'm so interested, and I'm sure you are interested as well. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
He's a turnaround.
Get me York's rent a car. I need a car in 15 minutes. Hi, I'm Jake Morris, and I travel globally. But when I'm in Ghana, York's Rent a Car is my reliable choice for safety and comfort on the road. York's Rent a Car provides comprehensive logistics services to mainly blue chip companies as well as individual clients.
At the time, we needed a car rental service, and York's fitted in very well per our standards.
Their services is top notch. Drivers are on time.
It was beautiful to see them behind the wheels. And anytime they pick up a guest, the guests were very, very happy.
Already? Excellent. York's Rent a Car provides services and expertise that include meet and greet services at the airport, car rental, driver personnel outsourcing, and vehicle detailing. What's the problem? It's you. I told you. York's Rent a Car delivers world-class service to its customers, having their highest safety and comfort in mind. So watch you. The of us are open for him. York's Rent a Car runs 24/7 operations where customers can make car reservations and inquiries of our services online and also call our hotline.
He's a turnaround.
Welcome back to the Springboard Hangout. Today we are hanging out with Marvin. Marvin is a shoe entrepreneur, and as you know, our Springboard Hangout is being done in partnership with the Ghana Grows Program. The Ghana Grows Program is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MasterCard Foundation and Limehouse. And today we are looking at TVET and the extended value chain, and we are privileged to join Marvin in his studio or in his workshop, where he's going to teach us, those of us who want to learn how to make shoes, about how to make shoes from A to Z. Marvin, how do we start to get this from this?
So the first thing about shoemaking is pattern.
Pattern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Similar to dressmaking.
Okay.
So when somebody shows us that this is the shoes that we want, we first of all have to make the pattern for it. And with the pattern, it starts from the mold. Because if somebody shows you a shoe, it comes in a shape.
Okay.
So you have to get the same shape or similar shape. So this is where it all starts from. We make the whole pattern on this. We transfer it to paper. It's more like technical drawing.
Oh, so those of us who didn't pass technical
Oh,
drawing.
it's easy to learn.
Really?
Yeah,
Are
very
you sure?
Very, very easy.
So you mean my technical drawing that I learned, I didn't learn. No, but at my time there was no technical drawing. But those of us who are doing technical drawing presently, we can use that information to start thinking about how to
make. Yes.
Okay.
Because it's more like measurement, access, and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just the technical bit of it.
Okay.
You know where to put the shoe that somebody can slide their foot inside. So those things are very, very important. When it even comes to Ghanaians, our foot are a little different from the whites, because we have bigger and broader foot than the white people. But unfortunately, most of this that is made for the white people.
So when will you start making ours?
Yeah, so we are still working on that. So what happens is that you can come to our shop, we'll measure your foot, then we'll adjust it to fit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the basic steps we do. But fortunately for us, sometimes we have like general foot, unless, just a few people.
Okay.
So we start making the pattern. Okay. Then from the pattern, we go to the cutting.
Okay.
After cutting, we go to sewing. From sewing, we go to something we call lasting. So this is called last.
It's bizarre on the beat.
So today we are learning we are coming to learn how to make shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, here's some cuticles. Yeah. Okay.
So for example, this shoes is a ballerina for ladies.
Okay.
So the process starts from me wrap. There's like when we pre-last it.
Pre-last,
Yes.
please. Okay. Pre-last in terms of putting the mold
to see
around it.
Yeah, the upper around the mold to make sure that it fits what you've done on the paper.
Okay.
So this is like the paper pattern.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
This is where you said my technical drawing would work.
Exactly.
Okay. Right.
So we start from here.
Okay.
So from here, after I finish designing and making the patterns,
okay,
I move down to where they make the upper.
Okay.
So this is a section where we make the upper.
Okay.
So if you can see, they have a couple of uppers that they started working on.
All right.
Yes. Then after they've done cutting, then they do the sewing.
So then it goes to that machine where they sew.
Machine where they sew.
Is the same person? Is it the same person who does that?
No. So we have 3 groups.
Okay.
Myself, I'm the one who makes the pattern.
Okay.
We have the cutting.
Okay.
And the sewing.
Yeah.
Section.
Yeah.
Then the next section is the lasting section.
Okay.
So
okay.
they put the upper part on the mold, which is called the last.
Okay. Does the last always involve the nailing of it together?
Yes.
Okay.
It
So we
does.
nail it like that.
Yes. So
Okay.
you can either nail or you can glue.
Okay.
But because this one, we are not ready to put it together. We are just finding out if the shape is okay.
Okay.
We just put it together.
Is it me? I can see some cloth
Yes,
in it.
we use it to reinforce the material.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is interesting. So this
Yeah.
has been sewed.
Yes. So
Okay. The upper has been
Yeah,
sewed.
the upper.
You have to use the terms properly.
Yes,
Have you-
upper. So these are the
Right.
processes. So, for example, this is a lady's slippers. They glue the base and the sole. So after allowing it to dry for some time, they put them together. Then you get this.
Then we get this.
Yes.
So this one, this is too big for me.
Yeah, this.
This is 30. This is 38.
Yeah.
Huh. It looks bigger than me. Let me see. Okay. Oh, actually, it's okay.
Smaller. Yeah, I think it's even.
It's a bit smaller than
Yeah.
me. Okay.
Yeah, we're 39.
I'm 39. So that is my third shoes. And so now this is set, right? Because
Yeah.
a female shoe.
Yeah.
So this is set. I'm giving you my name.
Okay. All right.
This is my set shoe. And it's lovely.
Yes.
It's lovely. So if I want a red shoe, because I love red, don't you polish it or anything?
We do polish.
You do polish.
Yeah.
Where do we do the polishing?
The polishing is done by after we finish soling. Yeah, then we apply the polish. So if you realize the leather that was on your lap didn't look this.
No, it
Yeah.
didn't.
So we apply. We have cream polish. So we do like it puts like 3 different polishes on it.
Okay.
So this is a cream polish. We wait it to dry. We shine it, and we put a wax polish. So the wax polish is the final bit.
So do you do it manually or you use a machine?
Oh,
You
we do it
apply-
manually.
You do it manually. But
Yeah.
what is he doing over
So
there?
what he's doing is, before you fix the sole of the shoe, you have to make it rough for the glue to be able to stick. If it's smooth, it won't stick together. Yeah, so that's why he's roughing the sole of the thing. And this process, you need to be trained because it's like you are gauging with your eye. When you scrape where you shouldn't scrape, it becomes a defect on the shoe and we can't sell it. Yes.
Okay, I'll get you do sample.
Yeah, so
right now you've scared.
yeah, we can't sell the shoes.
So you don't want me to do sample.
And now we need to train you before.
You have to train me before.
Yes.
So which part can I do?
So he's just using his eye
Oh, come on.
to gauge everything.
Marvin, I want to learn how to
So that you need to gauge it. Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
So you use this for...
To rough the sole, to be able to stick it together.
So this is done for every single...
Every single shoe.
But don't you use this apart from for the roughing? Is the machine used for
So and we use it for so when we are creating the sole of the shoe, it's a process.
Okay.
And you have to use this to get the shape,
Okay.
to make it smooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then once you rough it,
Yeah.
it becomes like this.
Yes.
Do you get me? When we rough it, it becomes like this, and we are ready to now add our sole. So we are ready to add this sole.
And this sole was created from scratch. So it's a big board, then you take out the shape. You put this, which is called a welt. This is more like a design.
Okay.
Yes. Then you use these machines to get the shape very, very smooth. So with this machine, we have the rough, we have smooth, and we have something very, very smooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this a sole for this one?
Yes, please.
So technically, you can imagine the shoe is finished,
Yes.
and it is done all by Marvin with the help of his technical crew. Fantastic. Handmade shoes right here in Accra, GH. Thank you very much.
So that's the whole process.
But I see so many molds. Why do you need to have different molds?
So first of all, imagine somebody gives you 1,000 pairs to produce. You can't say you finish one shoe, you take it out before you do the other. You can't do that. That's why you have. And also, it's also because of different shapes. You know, there are different shapes for different styles and designs. Yeah. So basically, that's why.
This is lovely. This is someone's handmade shoe. Do you get the buckles? So where do you get your raw materials?
So raw materials are imported. So there are people who import them from China and Europe.
Have you invested a local source of raw materials? What does the
initially,
outcome be?
Yeah, you know, I was saying I did leather in tech.
Yeah.
So we learn about tanning and the processes that they use. So we used to buy the local to use for our work. But what I realized was that in leather work, you tan or you process the leather according to the use. If you want to use the leather for bag, there's a way you should tan it. If you want to use for a shoe, there's a way you should tan it. But what they do here is they just tan. They don't care. Yes, they don't care what you are using.
So what happens is that the quality is not always sustained. I mean,
and also they can. I've realized that it's not something they are doing in large quantities. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it because of our willing?
It's partly that, but it's partly that.
It's partly that. So we should stop eating with.
Yeah, yes, but you know, if there is a need to process the material, then people will stop eating it. Then the wile will not even come out.
Okay.
The tanners will go and buy it.
Right.
And also, if you are making leather, you see, you have to rear the animal for leather. Wow. You can't rear an animal you want to eat same as you want leather, because there should be no blemishes, there should not be any cuts on the animal. But here we don't do that.
So there's a long way for us to be able to have a well established and sustainable leather.
Yes, exactly. So that's a different discussion altogether.
But that is an opportunity.
Yes, that's a
huge opportunity.
Yes. So far, Ethiopia is taking advantage of that opportunity
On the African continent.
Yes, and even Europe buy from Ethiopia.
Wow.
Yes. They produce like one of the best leathers in the world.
So why don't we export from there?
From Ethiopia.
From Ethiopia.
So basically, like when you want leather is expensive.
Okay.
The shoe, we've not scratched even the surface of the shoe industry in Ghana.
We've not scratched the surface. Are you telling me that there's a lot more opportunity there, that young people who want to take up that
There's a lot more opportunity, because now the shoes that are in the market are basically from China.
Okay.
The ones that are from Kumasi, it's still, we can't meet, even if they say we should shut down importing shoes, we can't meet the demand now. So
are you serious?
Yeah, it's a big industry. So I actually went into shoemaking because I asked myself, even if you're hungry and you want to go and buy food, you have to wear something on your foot. So there is demand for it. That's why.
Insatiable demand.
Yes, that's why I went into shoemaking. I was looking for something that, you know, there's always demand for it. You know, so it's looking at the shoes that goes to even the big cities. Talking about if you go, I've done the research. If you go to there's a place called, I think, China House in Accra. Mm-hmm. The Chinese are there and they are bringing all.
I know that place.
Yeah, they are bringing all the shoes. You know.
So we have established that there's a lot of opportunity in the shoemaking space. So if you are there and you don't know, I mean, you are really wondering what kind of business can I go into, or what kind of space can I, let's say you're interested in manufacturing, this is an opportunity for you. But do your investigations first. Don't just stand up and say, I'm going to do shoe manufacturing because Marvin is doing it. No. Do the investigation first and be willing, because I think what has kept you here all this while is because you are passionate about doing shoes. If it were another field, I don't think you'd be willing to take those.
Another thing is that shoemaking, it's a lot of investment.
Okay.
So a lot of people who start with sandal making.
Yeah.
That you don't need so much investment. But shoemaking, you need a lot of investment and a lot of sacrifices, because you have to think before you are coming, there are already people in the system already. But what's good is that now branding is helping.
Yeah.
So now you have a lot of people who come and they brand their shoes and they're able to move it. But shoemaking is too expensive to set up. That's the.
But the person can come and learn.
Exactly.
And be part of the
Exactly. Like the same opportunity I had.
Yeah.
I went to learn, but whilst I was learning, I was selling.
Yeah.
So you could use that route, which is the best. But if you want to just start and set up a factory, you need a lot of money. And unlike dressmaking, you can't do it alone.
You need others to do it. In the next 5 to 10 years, where do you see TVET Handmade?
So, we want to make TVET a household brand. And we focused on producing good quality shoes, because I realized that because we sell here, they always know us. When you buy a Chinese shoe, you don't know the Chinese one who produced it. But this one, anytime there's a problem, you get a call from the customer, which is a good thing. I really.
And it helps you improve your product.
I think the feedback is the best way to improve your product. You know, to the point where if we sell shoes for you, and there's a challenge from our end, we replace it with the new shoes, because I try to build. The money is okay, but building the relationship is what I think more about. Because I feel every shoe I sell is a part of me. So what does it tell the buyer?
So what does it tell the buyer about who Marvin is? I like that.
Yeah, so that's how I like to sell my product.
So if you have any words of advice to any young person watching us today, what would those words be?
Whew. Now it's hard to advise, because sometimes if you look at the challenges and the things you have to go through, you need to build yourself in a way to stand all those shocks. So I asked myself, are people ready for that? Because when you are doing business, every wind blows you. Bad one, good one. Today you could be having a lot of money. Tomorrow, everything can go away. Are you ready for the ups and downs? Because the downs are a lot more than the ups when you start, at the beginning. And you also have to look at the business you are going into. Some businesses can take 5 years. Some businesses can take 20 years. Some businesses can take 30 years. Are you ready to work through all those times? That's the honest question you have to sit down and ask yourself. Are you in a hurry? If you're in a hurry, you better find a job and do. But if you are not in a hurry, you want to do something that's, probably you may not enjoy, but people or generations that will come after you will enjoy. When you look at the story of Gucci, Balenciaga, they are like 100 years and above. It's generation, like probably some of them like the 5th generation who are benefiting from what they started. So the advice is, ask yourself, am I ready to take this journey? Because it's hard. Me, I won't lie. It's hard. It's really hard. You lose.
But is it fulfilling?
Yes, it's fulfilling for me. The whole thing is that when I see the people I work with, I'm able to teach them something new. I'm able to give them something that they could depend on every month. That's what makes me happy. Because this will pay, but it won't pay now. Because these young people, some of them could have been somewhere else. But for them to get a skill, and you see, the thing about getting a skill is you can never lose a skill.
Yep.
You can lose a job.
You can use the job, but you can always transfer the skill you've
Anywhere you are in
learned.
the world. Even if today I decide to make something we call bespoke shoes, I could still make money, you know. So that's the question you have to ask yourself. So the advice is ask yourself those questions. If you realize that you are ready, then you can start your own business.
But if you are not,
probably get a job if you can find one. But if you can't find one, you can start. It's mostly also about the experience, because doing my business have changed my whole personality. First, when I want something, I want it now, I want it fast. I realize that patience is
a virtue.
Yes, it's very important. There are certain things you have to wait no matter what. So that's the things I've got that I think money can't really buy.
Marvin, it's been amazing talking to you. You've been watching us on the Springboard Hangout. The Hangout has had the opportunity to interact with Marvin. Marvin runs TED handmade shoes, and he's done all sorts of things, and he does mainly in the main men's shoes, but he intends in the medium to long term to go into women as well as young people. Marvin started from Kumasi, got to a time where the business broke down and therefore had to restart again in Somanya and transferred here to Accra. Through it all, Marvin has come to realize that indeed business does pay, but it takes time. He is prepared to sacrifice. He's passionate about what he is doing because he says that everybody one day, sometime, would wear a shoe, and therefore the shoemaking business is one that has tremendous growth opportunity. He's giving us a call out to say that if you are young and you are not sure what you could do, there is opportunity there, but first do your investigation to ensure that this is where you want to play your craft. If you don't want to be there, there are other opportunities in the extended value chain for a TVET, and you can find that and play your craft there. So until we come your way again this Sunday, do not forget to watch the Springboard Your Virtual University, because you're going to enjoy yourself there. This program will repeat on ETV on Sunday evening as well at 5 p.m. So, as you know, the Springboard Hangout is brought to you by kind courtesy of Ghana Grows. Ghana Grows is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. We are looking at what opportunities are there and giving people the exposure to see how young people can get into jobs in those spaces. Until we come your way next week, and I promise we are coming your way again, you are blessed, you are loved, and there's so much that you can do in our beloved nation, Ghana. God bless you, and we love you. Bye.
He's a rich